Should be a fun one here tonight from Ball Arena in Denver, Colorado, as the Colorado Avalanche will play host to the Minnesota Wild, two of the better teams among the NHL. And a lot of storylines and a lot of playmakers on the ice here tonight between these two squads. Sit back and enjoy this one as we are underway here from Ball Arena. Colorado will bring it up for their first turn of the game. Girard sends it on net, kicked away, loose puck. Still loose, and Colorado nearly scored in the first seconds. Kaprizov brings it back here for Minnesota. Trying to cut his way inside. Good cutoff by Colorado. Favor Pindle on the boards. Kaprizov back up to the point, and Quinn Hughes. Urov has it poked outside. Back up to Hughes. Kaprizov sends it in on net. Wedgwood says no. 45 seconds in, and already action in front of both ends of the ice. Face off in the Colorado end, controlled by the Avalanche. Girard sends it up to Nathan MacKinnon, pestered. Here's Landeskog. Taken away by Quinn Hughes, one of the Olympic heroes for Team USA. Kaprizov, centering pass, Zuccarello shot, score! Zuccarello deflects it off the pipe and in, and the Wild are off and running here in Colorado. Just right down the slot, nothing fancy about it. He was just the trailer on the play. Got it past Landeskog, past Cale Makar, and off the pipe and in, past Wedgwood. And Minnesota strikes first here on the road at Ball Arena, quieting this crowd here early. So an early 1-0 lead, a minute 12 into the game. Minnesota with the early strike from Zuccarello. 2 shots on goal to start this game for Minnesota, 1 for 2 on Zuccarello's goal just over a minute in. Brock Nelson gets it out to Nichushkin. Pindle on the far half wall. Comes out wide to Manson. One-timer up top. Denied. Rebound. Deflected in the air and comes out wide. Broden jumps on it for Minnesota and they clear. Boldy up ahead to Eriksson Ek, who sends it off a body in front. And Colorado takes over back the other way. Lankinen. Brock Nelson through center outside Nichushkin. Inside pass intercepted by Spurgeon. And here comes Eriksson Ek. Outside Johansson. Johansson dangles, fires, tip try, and Wedgwood holds his ground. 17:28 to go in the opening period. Just underway here from Denver, Colorado. Already off to a good start. Face off here in the Colorado end, controlled by the Avs. Here's a turnover. Hinstrosa turns back, drops it off. Kept in by Bogosian, sends it in, and Wedgwood knocks it down. Malinsky recovers there for Colorado, and they'll get it out of the zone. Second unit in for both squads. Middleton jumps on it here for Minnesota. Hinstrosa centers. Tarasenko dangles, drops it off. Bogosian shot off a body. Comes out wide. Colorado back the other way. Intercepted center by Bogosian. He turns back for Minnesota. He fires a shot, saved by Wedgwood. Comes out wide. And Colorado will get it out of harm's way. Olofsson fires a shot, save, and it goes back into the corner. Kaprizov jumps on it here for Minnesota. And Strosa with a bobble taken away by Nathan MacKinnon. First unit checks back in. MacKinnon gets inside and fires a shot, save, goes back out wide. Looks to the wide side. Colorado keeps it alive. Girard whiffed on the shot, goes back into the corner. Middleton and MacKinnon battle for it there along the boards. Looks out to the far half wall, controlled by Middleton and Minnesota. Zuccarello, the goal scorer, brings it up wide, centering to the inside, and Wedgwood holds his ground. Fun action already here in Denver. Minnesota with the early 1-0 lead. And a little bit of a hurt Hartman will go back to the locker room here for the Wild. The Minnesota out without Hartman for a moment as he goes back to the dressing room. Face-off control by Colorado. Here's a turnover. Foligno Couldn't get a shot off, and it comes back out to center. Brindley brings it in here for the Avalanche, feeds it in around the boards. Back to it is Quinn Hughes. His brother Jack scored the golden goal in the Olympics for Team USA over Team Canada to bring gold back to the United States for the first time since 1980. And Quinn Hughes had a good tournament as well. This one sent in on Wedgwood, who says no. 14:28 to go in the opening period, just underway here from Denver. Face-off controlled by Colorado in their own end. Now a turnover. Eriksson Ek inside. Score! Eriksson Ek off the takeaway, and it's 2-0 Minnesota. Off to a hot start here in Denver, Colorado. Sloppy puck movement by the Avalanche, and Eriksson Ek had a wide open lane to work with, just one-on-one with Wedgwood, who had no chance. Early 2-0 lead here for Minnesota on the road. 2 goals in just over 5 minutes here for Minnesota to start this game. Nelson feeds it in. Faber back, close to the far half wall, controlled by Johansson. Minnesota will bring it out. 7 shots on goal for the Wild, 5 for Colorado, who takes it over in center. Just over 6 minutes gone by here in this opening period. Eriksson Ek tried to get around Burns, who goes back behind the net. Circles back to the near side. Manson jumps on it for Colorado. He gets crunched, but keeps it alive. Lankinen will bring it up here for the Avs. Squares his body off a body in front on that shot attempt. Good block. I believe it was Faber who got a piece of it. And here comes Minnesota. Johansson, pestered by Manson. Good defense. And Brock Nelson will bring it up here for Colorado. Centers to Lankinen. Back out to Nelson. And taken away by Tarasenko. Just over 7 minutes gone by opening period. Natchez jumps on it here for the Avs. Brindley flips it up and in. Close to the far half wall. Minnesota jumps on it in their own end. Here's Foligno who feeds it in. Over to it is Manson for the Avalanche in their own end. Natchez up ahead to Drury. Colorado looking to get something going. Brindley with a bobble. He's pestered on his way in. And it comes back out to center. Quinn Hughes. Hughes dangles on his way in. Pestered by Malinsky, who takes it away. Drury off his stick to Broden. Here's Quinn Hughes. Back up. And a bobble in center. Here comes Colorado. Natchez flips it up and in. Drury takes it away down low for a moment. It floats back into the trapezoid, and a penalty is called, I believe, against the boards. A hold is going to be called on Quinn Hughes. As Drury fed it into the trapezoid, Hughes just pinned him along the wall. And a penalty here on Minnesota. Colorado will go to the power play for the first time tonight. Face off here in the Minnesota end. Power play here for Colorado. Minnesota flips it up and out. Hale McCarr back. Penalty unit in. First unit in, I should say, here for Colorado. Errant pass will go all the way back down, icing the call. Minute 39 to go on the power play. 11:01 to go in the opening quarter. In the opening period. With a 2-0 Minnesota lead. Power play here for the Avs. Minnesota wins the faceoff. They're up shorthanded. Bogosian off the pipe and Wedgwood snares. My goodness. A shorthanded chance there for Minnesota, and it rings right off the bar. Faceoff this time controlled by Colorado in their own end. 90 seconds to go on the penalty. Nichushkin. Centering pass goes off a skate, deflects wide of the net. Minnesota trying to get it out, and they will. Back out to center. Burns jumps on it here for the Avs. Brock Nelson pinned along the boards in front of the Minnesota bench. Bogosian flips it up and out. 1 minute to go on the penalty here for Colorado. No shots on goal here on this power play. Brock Nelson. Broken stick in the middle of the play. Bobble out in the slot. Still loose. Down low. Denied. Rebound. Still loose. Hack and whack. The goalie gets back. Bodies are flying everywhere. And it floats all the way back down. My goodness. Under 30 seconds to go in the penalty. Here's Olofsson. Out to Lankinen. Now Landeskog. Intercepted in center by Trident. And now Minnesota wasting time on this penalty. Flips it up and out. Final seconds of this penalty wind down. Colorado up quickly. Landeskog, the captain, cuts to the net. Denied, and it comes out wide. Back to full strength comes Minnesota. Bardakov inside. He's denied on his way through. And it comes out to the corner. Brock Faber. Back behind the net for Broden. And Colorado 0 for 1 on the power play. Here's Quinn Hughes. Fresh out of the box. Centers it to the inside. Intercepted by Landeskog. Taken back by Hughes. Boldy turns and fires. Saved by Wedgwood. And Stroza now in the corner. Bindle on the boards there. And Bardakov picks up the loose change here for the Avalanche. Here's Girard up ahead. Outside Lankinen can't handle it. And Stroza turns back for the Wild. And Stroza waiting for his friends. Poked by Girard. Comes out wide. And Stroza circles back inside. Outside. Shot denied. The rebound controlled by Olofsson. Battle for it along the near half wall. Minnesota keeps it alive. Out in front. Kaprizov denied by Wedgwood with the blocker. Goes out into the corner. Now back behind the net. Long turn here for Minnesota. And Colorado looks to get it out. They will. Bardakov on the far side. Minnesota changes as Colorado feeds it in. Just under 7.5 to go in this opening period. Tarasenko on net. Wedgwood snares. 7:15 to go in the period. Ten saves in the period for Wedgwood on 12 shots on goal. 2-0 Minnesota, 7:15 to go in the opening period. Face-off controlled by Minnesota. On the point, Bogosian off a skate, tipped around in the slot, controlled by Colorado, and they'll get it out. Necas comes in wide, fires a shot, saved. Gustafsson. No further play with 6:55 to go in the opening period. McKinnon and Urov will face off here in the Minnesota end. Minnesota wins the face-off. 12 shots on goal for the Wild, 8 for Colorado. Kaprizov off a body. Necas pinned along the far half wall. Urov pokes it away back behind the net. Nathan McKinnon tries to pick up the loose change. It comes in on net and Wedgwood just freezes it. 6:12 to go. There's Kaprizov. As we take a look at Sam Malinsky. Took a ringer right off the calf, right off the left calf. That hurt. A stinger. But a good shot block out in front. $6:12 to go, opening period, 2-0 Minnesota. With 12 shots on goal, 2 of them finding the back of the net. Brindley drops it off. Kelly, tip try out in front, grabbed out of the air, I believe, by Middleton. Kept in by Malinsky. Tip try out in front, goes wide. The rebound, Gustafsson holds his ground with 5:44 to go in the opening period. Face-off controlled by Minnesota. Broden feeds it in around. Circles all the way around to the near side. Battle for it in the corner. Comes it back out to Malinsky. Colorado clears. Up ahead. Here's Bardakov. Whiffed. Good stick from behind by Hinstrosa, and here he comes. He feeds it in deep, didn't want the jailbreak opportunity. 5 minutes to go in the period. Nichushkin, pestered on his way in, keeps it alive, fires a shot, saved, the rebound, no, and it comes wide. McKinnon jumps on it, back up to the point, Makar blocked out in front. Loose puck in the slot, controlled by Hinstroza, it goes out wide. Hinstroza pinned along the far half wall. Floats in back behind the net. Spurgeon jumps on it for Minnesota, and they'll clear. Sturm feeds it in around. Here's Nathan McKinnon. Poked out wide. Delayed offsides on Colorado. They tag back up. And now taken away by Matt Boldy. Here he comes. Jailbreak. Boldy is in. And he is stopped. The rebound goes just wide of the net. Wedgwood holds his ground. And now it floats in just past the blue paint. Jailbreak opportunity there for Minnesota. Wedgwood says no. Olofsson feeds it in. Here's Johansson. He gets crunched. Eriksson Ek, who has a goal tonight, up ahead. Fires, save Wedgwood. Goes back behind the net. Malinsky jumps on it for Colorado. And they'll get it out of the zone. Nichushkin pestered on his way through. Hughes turns back here for Minnesota. Flips it up and in. Under 3 minutes to go in the period. Out in front, Foligno couldn't handle it. Back behind the net. Floats to the near half wall. Foligno intercepted by Nichushkin as he tried to get it back up top. Quinn Hughes turns back here for Minnesota. Hughes gets around one man, fires a shot, saved by Wedgwood. Goes to the far corner, controlled by Minnesota. Hughes off a body in front. Minnesota still keeping it in the zone. Middleton inside, a whiff as it goes back behind. Zuccarello back for Minnesota, kicks to the near half wall, controlled by Colorado. And they will get it out. Malinsky with the bobble. He gets knocked down. Foligno takes it away. And Colorado jumps on it. 90 seconds to go in the period. 16 shots on goal for Minnesota. 10 for Colorado. Nichushkin pestered on his way in. Turns it over to Foligno. Nichushkin along the near half wall. Quinn Hughes picks out the loose change. Here's Zuccarello up top, Kaprizov. Just under a minute to go in the period. Wedgwood snares that one. 52 seconds to go. Face-off controlled by Minnesota. Quinn Hughes squares it up and denied by Wedgwood. 44 seconds to go in the period. Face-off this time controlled by Colorado. 2-0 Minnesota, under a minute to go in the opening period. Colton, one-time whiff, good stick by Quinn Hughes. And here's Kaprizov. Kaprizov waiting for his center, comes inside, a shot denied by Wedgwood. And he sprawls down on the puck with 16 seconds to go. Johansson on it for a moment. Burns takes it away here for Colorado. We're under 10 seconds. One final push. Colton centering pass. Olofsson shot denied. Rebound. Gustafsson holds his ground with less than a second. And it'll be 2-0 Minnesota at the end of one. No time to get a shot off. 19 shots on goal for Minnesota in this opening period. 12 for Colorado, and Minnesota with a 2-0 lead. On the road, hard hits by Foligno. Goals by Eriksson Ek. And it's 2-0 Wild after one here at Ball Arena. Start of the second period here at Ball Arena. It's 2-0 Minnesota here on the road, as they have had the advantage through most of that first period. It looked like the momentum was on their side. Colorado looking to capture it and come back in this game. They win the initial faceoff. Nathan McKinnon will bring it up. He's pestered on his way in, and back out to center it comes. Kaprizov on it for the Wild. He takes a hit as he feeds it in. Natchez brings it up and out here for for Colorado. Here's McKinnon, shot denied by Gustafson. Goes out wide. McKinnon tried to feed it up and in, and he was unable to as Faber jumped on it. And now here's Kaprizov. Kaprizov inside, denied, score on the rebound. And it's 3-0 Minnesota. What a strike. Kirill Kaprizov just goes coast to coast. And he was zooming on his way in on Wedgwood. Good blocker save initially by Wedgwood, and the rebound just went right back to Kaprizov. Never lost stride on his way in. And it's 3-0 Minnesota with 3 different goal scorers. Zuccarello, Eriksson Ek, and now Kaprizov. The goal scorers for Minnesota. And Zuccarello got an assist on that goal just a moment ago. 49 seconds in to the period, and it's 3-0. Johansson inside, and now a whiff back behind the net on Wedgwood. Manson keeps it alive for Colorado, and they'll exit. Burns up ahead, Nichushkin, pestered by Johansson on his way in. And here comes Minnesota back into the zone. Drops it off for Boldy into the slot. Denied, rebound just wide. Eriksson Ek was right there, and he couldn't find the back of the net. Wedgwood freezes with 18:31 to go in the period. Face-off control by Colorado in their own end. Down 3-0 here at home. Some pestering as they get it through neutral ice. A bobble to the near side. Here's Nelson. Nelson drops it off. Comes out wide. Manson. Now Lankinen with it to the point, and Burns sticked aside. And it comes out to the near half wall. Nelson Pindle on the boards. Manson keeps it alive inside, and backhanded try denied by Gustafson. Goes out wide. Lankinen keeps it alive once again. Intercepted by Matt Boldy. And they'll get it out. Johansson to Eriksson Ek, a shot gloved down by Wedgwood. A lot of action for the Wild. And Wedgwood holding his ground as best as he can, but it's a 3-0 deficit. Face-off control by Colorado. Drury pestered through neutral ice, keeps it alive. Drury sends it in on net. Gustafson, easy save, goes out wide. Middleton, Pindle on the boards. A lot of bodies back there. Sturm jumps on it for Minnesota. And they'll get it out. Here's Middleton. Now Hinstroza can't handle it at the red line. Olofsson comes in wide. Centering pass to Colton, and Gustafson snares the puck. 16:33 to go in the period. Face-off control by Minnesota. Here's Quinn Hughes. Now Kaprizov through center. Kaprizov comes in wide. Centering pass intercepted by Kelly. And Bardakov will bring it back here for the Avs. Bardakov cuts inside, sends it in on net. Gustafson swats it aside. Zuccarello back out through center. Intercepted by Bardakov. Malinsky tried to feed it in. And it trickles over to Quinn Hughes. Just over 4 minutes gone by here in the second. Another goal in the period for Minnesota. Yurov keeps it in. Outside Faber. One-timer denied outside by Quinn Hughes. Comes along the near half wall. Out in front, Kaprizov denied by Wedgwood. Colorado's got to find a way to shift some momentum if they want to have a chance. It's been all Minnesota. Hughes denied by Wedgwood. And another face-off here in the Colorado end. Colorado jumps on the face-off this time. Gerard crunched along the boards back behind the play. Here's Nathan McKinnon. If they want to spark, it's this guy. Takes it in down low. Loose puck in the slot, controlled by Gustafsson. Minnesota wins the face-off. Just over 5 minutes gone by here in the second. 3-0 Wild on top. Landeskog jumps on it here for Colorado. Here's Natchez. Intercepted. Pestered by Middleton. Floats back into the Avalanche zone. Cale Makar chases it down. Cross ice. This is Landeskog. Landeskog drops it off. Natchez bobble into the slot. Works it down low. Controlled by Minnesota. And they'll get it out. Here's Sturm. Taken off his stick by Burns. Nathan McKinnon now with it here for Colorado. He's pestered by Middleton. Landeskog keeps it alive. What a stop by Gustafsson. Loose puck in the slot still. Hack and whack in the middle. Still loose off the side of the cage. Holton back up top. Burns. Manson. Denied by Gustafsson. 13:31 to go in the period, and Gustafsson holds his ground. Minnesota wins the faceoff. Tarasenko fires a shot, didn't get all of it. Wedgwood hit the ground for a moment, pops back out. Nichushkin jumps on it here for Colorado. And it is along the boards. Trying to get it out of the zone. Nichushkin battling. He loses. And now Nichushkin will turn back. Hinstrosa was in there pestering him along the boards. Nichushkin tried to drop it off, good stick. Loose puck out in front, bobbled and controlled by Minnesota. Here comes Broder with numbers if they hurry. Broden sends it in down low, just too far. And it goes past Wedgwood. Nichushkin intercepted by Urov. And Foligno back in for Minnesota for a moment. Back out to center it comes. Bardakov feeds it in around the boards. And Minnesota looks to get it out. They will not be able to. At least for a moment, now it does. And Colorado will have to tag back up, and they flip it in. Makar jumps on it far side. Kept alive by Bardakov. Works it in. Cuts to the net. Denied by Gustafsson. Rebound top of the slot. Kept alive. Overskated by Burns. It comes out wide. Kept in the zone. Nelson. Outside Makar. Off a body in front. Keeps it alive. Down low Brindley. Outside Burns. Lets it fly. Gustafsson holds his ground again with 11 minutes to go. Colorado wins the faceoff. Keeps it in the zone. Colton. Another stop by Gustafsson. And Colorado getting back in the shot on goal game. They're now just trailing by one in that category. 25-24 shots on goal. Looking to get one back behind Gustafsson. They win the faceoff again. Malinsky on the point. Straddles the blue line. Solovyov denied by Gustafsson again. Minnesota wins that faceoff this time. Sweet pass by Quinn Hughes there, and they get it out. Boldy comes in wide, pestered on his way through, and Colorado jumps on it. Just about halfway through this second period, still 3-0 Minnesota. Centering pass to Colton, shot knocked down by Gustafsson. Rebound goes off the side of the cage. Olofsson let it fly, and it comes back out to center. Eriksson Ek on the far side. Here's Hughes cutting inside. He's cut off on his way through, and here comes Colorado. Drury, outside Colton, cuts in, fires down low. Gustafsson stops it again. Colorado now leads this game in shot on goals, 26-25, but they haven't found the back of the net. Faber to the near side, Tarasenko through center, at least for a moment. Quinn Hughes. Pestered across the red line, Colorado takes over. Makar's tripped. Offside is the call, no penalty on the trip. And we'll get a face-off in center. McKinnon wins the face-off for Colorado. Sends it in on net. Gustafsson somehow found it. And we get another stoppage. McKinnon wins another face-off. Makar squares up. Tipped into Gustafsson again. My goodness. Gustafsson, a brick wall for the Wild in between the pipes. Another face-off won by McKinnon. Makar tipped out wide in front. Never got through. Makar again on the point, sends it in. Backhanded try by McKinnon goes wide of the net. And Hughes jumps on it for Minnesota, out quickly. Zuccarello turns it over to Landeskog. Here's Girard. Comes in wide. Girard stops and fires. Landeskog deflects high off the boards. Well wide of the net, and Gustafsson freezes again. Colorado's on the attack. They're just looking to find any sort of opening to get it to the back of the net. Minnesota jumps on the faceoff. Quinn Hughes nearly turned it over, but it comes back out to center. Here's Kaprizov. Cuts inside, drops it off Zuccarello. Turns it over to Girard. Nichushkin up the far boards, cross ice, offsides. 7:53 to go, second period. A lot of action. Minnesota still with a 3-0 lead. Face-off controlled by the Wild. Zuccarello gets knocked down behind the play. Kaprizov waits for his friends as he sends it in on net. Easy kick away by Wedgwood. Kaprizov back out top, Zuccarello. Now Middleton can't handle it, and Lankinen turns back here for Colorado. Lankinen inside, Nichushkin fires, save Gustafsson, goes out wide. Jumping on it is Zuccarello, and Minnesota will get it out again. Here's Eriksson Ek. Fires a shot from outside, and Wedgwood holds his ground. 7:03 to go in the period. .30 shots on goal for Colorado, 26 for Minnesota. But still a 3-0 lead for the Wild. Brindley brings it into the zone. Centering pass intercepted by Sturm. And Minnesota back out to center. Here's Middleton. Middleton sends it into the Colorado end. Jumped on by the Avalanche. Solovyov drops it off Bardakov. Loose puck in the slot. Available, and it comes out. Treinen feeds it in around the boards. To the other side, handled by Burns. Bardakov back through center. Colorado changes. Bardakov brings it up, looking for his center. Indel on the boards, keeps it alive. Bardakov back behind the net. Tried to send it in out in front. Kept alive. Manson brings it in. Whiffed on the shot. Good stick by Johansson. Kept alive on the point. It's Burns. Now Manson. Manson squares it up. Gustafsson snares it. 5:31 to go in the period. Colorado wins another faceoff. One-timer goes off a body, deflects out to center, and a race for the puck controlled by Manson. Drury right back in for Colorado. Drury drops it off. One-timer is whiffed. Good stick by Eriksson Ek. And Johansson back through center now here for Minnesota. Johansson dangles on his way in, drops it off for Hughes, off a skate out in front, and Manson recovers. Here comes Colorado. Manson pestered as he's surrounded by Wild there. They turn it over, and Sturm feeds it in around the boards. Under 5 minutes to go here in the period. Kaprizov denied by Wedgwood. Action on this end of the ice now. Battle for it in the corner. Colorado escapes with it. Here's Burns. And Manson feeds it up to Drury back through center. Drury hit hard on his way in. A lot of tired skaters out there right now. Sturm feeds it in. Floats out to the outside. And Colorado jumps on it. Under 4 minutes to go, nearly taken away by Zuccarello. Olofsson now gets clotheslined by his own player. Loose puck in center. Floats back into the Minnesota end. Nichushkin turns back here for Colorado, and Lankinen can't handle it. And Minnesota back through center. Here's Zuccarello, who scored the first goal of this game. Zuccarello fires, save, Wedgwood. Just over 3 minutes to go in the period. Face off in the Colorado end, controlled by the Avalanche. Stretch pass intercepted by Broden. Under 3 minutes to go here in the second period. Just one goal here in this second. Came within the first minute by Minnesota. Nathan MacKinnon works it outside, centering pass. Landeskog denied by Gustafsson. MacKinnon now bangs that one off the pipe, I believe. And Minnesota will try to get it out, and they will. Sturm up ahead. Waits for his friends to catch up. Drops it off Tarasenko. Sends it in on net. Rebound down in front. Still loose. A fired shot off the pipe. Minnesota nearly strikes again. Tarasenko keeps it in, and now Makar intercepts and gets back out to center. Natchez works it down low. Out in front, MacKinnon. Denied, Gustafsson. A lot of action on both ends of the ice. And Minnesota bangs one off the pipe. Man. On the short side, Wedgwood never saw it. It got screened out in front by a number of players. And it just ricochets off the bar and stays out. Face off, not very cleanly, won by Minnesota. They'll get it back out to center. And Stroza outside Tarasenko. Offsides delayed on Minnesota, so they can't touch it. Back the other way. Colorado, one-timer try by MacKinnon. He whiffed. And Minnesota back out with just over a minute to go. Treinen keeps it in, flips it out deep. Eriksson Ek. Bindle on the boards, under a minute to go in the period. Floats out in front. Eriksson Ek couldn't handle it. Yurov now with it. He couldn't handle. And Colorado escapes. 3-on-2 if they hurry. Landeskog intercepted inside. He tried to feed it off. Makar jumps on it for Colorado, pestered in his own end. Under 30 seconds to go in the period. Cross ice to Lankinen, who takes a hit at the blue line. 13 seconds to go in the period. Faber turns back for Minnesota. Holton jumps on the loose change for Colorado. Kept in the zone by Eriksson Ek. Fires a deep shot, denied by Wedgwood. And that will do it for the second period of play. Minnesota holds off the Colorado attack. Gustafsson, a brick wall in between the pipes. And they get one goal to add on to their lead in the period. It's now 3-0 Minnesota as we head to the second intermission. Start of the third period here from Ball Arena. Minnesota with a 3-0 lead here on the road. Colorado's had a lot of chances. They're out shooting Minnesota in this game, but they have not been able to find the back of the net. And we'll see if we get a comeback effort here by the Avalanche or if Minnesota takes this game here on the road. Zuccarello gets pestered, bodies flying in center. Colorado jumps on it on their own end. Girard lowers his shoulder. And Colorado will bring it up. Here's Natchez. Inside pass intercepted. And Zuccarello back here for Minnesota. To the near side in Urov. Urov brings it in down low, circles the net. Tried to send it in out in front. Good stick by the captain, Landeskog. Here's Nathan MacKinnon. McKinnon, Gerard, loose puck, McKinnon denied by Gustafsson. Quinn Hughes jumps on it for Minnesota. Here's Zuccarello. Cross ice to Kaprizov. Back to Zuccarello, intercepted by Makar. And now nearly a takeaway in the slot, but Colorado will get it out of harm's way. Here's Gerard. Gerard fires, save Gustafsson. And our first stoppage of the third comes at the 18-18 mark. As we take a look at Kirill Kaprizov, has a goal tonight for Minnesota. And he's been wreaking havoc all game long. Face-off coming here in the Minnesota end. Burns, fires, save, Gustafsson. Keeps it alive, he turned it over, and it is denied again by Gustafsson. Lucky break. Colorado jumps on it again. Tip try out in front, goes off a body, and Minnesota will clear. What a chance for Colorado. Gustafsson holds his ground. Now Lankinen, hit in front of his own bench. Cross ice to Nichushkin. Inside Nelson, back to Nichushkin. Sends it in on net, swatted away by Gustafsson. Nichushkin knocks him down, sends it in on net. Loose puck, Nelson jumps on it. He gets cross-checked. And a power play upcoming here for Colorado. Spurgeon down low, just tried to get him out of the crease. And he just shoves him straight in the square of the back. And a power play upcoming here for Colorado, trying to get on the board. Big penalty here for both of these teams. Colorado trying to get back in this game. Minnesota trying to prevent that. Face off in the Minnesota end. Power play Colorado. Olofsson just wide of the net. He jumps on it far half wall. Up top it's Burns. Now Nelson on the near side. Brings it in. That one goes off of Agassi and out in front. And they clear the zone. Nichushkin will bring it back in here for Colorado. Works it in wide, drops it off Olofsson. Score! It's a power play goal for Colorado. And they're on the board for the first time tonight. What a feed from behind the net by Nichushkin. And Olofsson got it top of the slot, just brought it right in. And fired a dart. Power play goal for the Avalanche, and they're back in business, down by 2. And it was only a matter of time before one of these shots by the Avalanche found the back of the net. They have been on the attack pretty much since the start of the second period. Have not been able to find the net. Gustafsson has been a brick wall, but a power play goal, and Colorado is alive here at Ball Arena. Nearly turned it over there. But Minnesota will bring it out. Now they turn it over in center. Sturm turns back here for the Wild. On the near side, Hinstroza flips it in around the boards. Flip and follow. Burns gets there first. And Colorado will clear. Errant pass goes all the way down. No icing. Faber pinned along the wall. Tarasenko there to pick up the loose change. And Hinstroza through center. Hinstroza sends it in. Wedgwood kicks it away. Brindley jumps on the rebound. Manson tried to feed it in. Good stick from behind by Sturm. Taken back away by Colorado. Here's Bardakov. Now Brindley. Bunton hooks back. Now feeds it in. Quinn Hughes pinned along the boards. Floats over to Faber. Minnesota in their own end will bring it out of the zone. Hinstroza up ahead. Now Foligno. Taken away at the top of the slot. And Drury back here for the Avalanche. Drury fires it on a net, sticked aside by Gustafsson. Hughes jumps on the rebound here for Minnesota. Lankinen is in. Outside McKinnon. Dangles on his way through. McKinnon back behind, comes all the way around. And Eriksson Ek jumps on it. Sturm here for Minnesota. Pestered back out to the red line. Foligno now brings it in. Eriksson Ek outside. Inside pass intercepted by Lankinen. Eriksson Ek jumps on it. Foligno outside. Works it in. On the doorstep, Wedgwood. Still loose in the slot. Wedgwood finds the puck. 14:08 to go. And Wedgwood holds his ground. Couple good blocker saves by Wedgwood. He's given up 3 goals, but we're getting close. .1408 to go in the third. Face-off controlled by Minnesota. Bogosian sends it into the slot. Loose puck controlled by Colorado, and they'll bring it out. Colton with a head of steam, denied by Gustafsson. Comes out wide, Middleton jumps on it. Colton back out to Girard. He whipped on the shot, Kaprizov with a good stick. And now here comes Minnesota. Kaprizov sends it in, Zuccarello denied by Wedgwood. What a try there on the one-timer, and it comes all the way back down. Bogosian feeds it out to Middleton. Up ahead, Kaprizov. Couldn't get around Girard. Here's Nelson. Nelson sends it just wide of the net. And Middleton jumps on it here for Minnesota. Treinen now flips it out of play. Face off in center, controlled by Colorado. Necas brings it in. Necas cuts inside, bobbled outside. Kept alive, knocked down by Gustafsson, back behind the net. McKinnon short-sided, off a body in front, still loose in the slot, controlled by Minnesota. They get it out. Bolding. Pester to the outside. Girard wins the race for the puck. Necas jumps on it here in the corner for Colorado. Fed in deep around the boards. Loose puck, kept alive. Landeskog on the wing, back up top. Necas sends it in, tip try, controlled by Gustafsson. Yeah, what was the score? 5-2 in real life? Didn't it just end? Broden jumps on the faceoff for Minnesota, turns it over to Necas, who's pinned along the half wall. Up top. Necas gets knocked down. Penalty's going to be called here. And Colorado's going to go back to the power play. Another cross-check call, this one on Eriksson Ek. And Colorado's going to have a chance to make it a 1-goal game. Colorado trying to cut the deficit to 1. Face-off control by Minnesota. Hughes got popped, but it's flipped up and out by Tarasenko. Nichushkin through center will start the break-in. Nichushkin comes in wide. Drops it back off to the point. Picked off by Tarasenko, who turns back for Minnesota. Short-handed Treinen. Score! Treinen gets it past Wedgwood. It's a short-handed goal for Minnesota. And it's a 3-goal lead once again for the Wild. I don't really know how that one got past Wedgwood. He just kind of flipped it up towards the net. And Wedgwood was just way out off the net. And it just blows it right past him. Not a good look there for Wedgwood. Gives up his 4th goal, and it's 4-1. And a shorthanded goal for Minnesota. Minute 32 to still go on the power play. Here for the Avalanche. Landeskog can't handle it in center for a moment. Now Necas brings it in for the Avs. Still a power play. Lankinen fires, saved by Gustafsson, comes out wide. That shorthanded goal kind of sucked all the life out of this building after it felt like Colorado was trying to make a comeback effort. Still plenty of time in this game, but it just got a little tougher. Landeskog brings it in, dangles on his way through, pestered to the outside, taken away, and Johansson will flip it up and out. 40 seconds to go on the power play. This one goes all the way down, icing the call with 37 seconds to go on the penalty about halfway through this third period. Makar jumps on it behind the net for Colorado. 30 seconds to go on the penalty. Nathan McKinnon jumps on it, and Lankinen will bring it up. Lankinen whiffed on the shot. Back to McKinnon. Outside one-timer, gloved down by Gustafsson. 13 seconds to go on the penalty. Colorado is out shooting Minnesota 45-34, but only one goal for the Avalanche came earlier in this third period. Face-off control by Colorado, denied by Gustafsson, and the rebound controlled by Minnesota. And Boldy flips it out. They'll kill off this penalty. Olofsson hit hard back behind the play. Colton now turns it over. Sturm turns back here for Minnesota, takes it in on net, off the side of the cage, and it deflects out wide. Sturm pinned along the boards by Burns, floats out to Faber. Inside, Eriksson Ek, who has a goal tonight, drops it back off for Faber. Tried to send it in. Good defense on the outside by Colorado. Nichushkin brings it in wide, waiting for his friends. He's poked into the corner. Boldy will clear the zone here for Minnesota. Just under 8.5 to go. Sturm to the outside, Eriksson Ek. Inside Boldy. Downstairs. Never got through. Drury now back here for Colorado. To the outside and Nelson. Nelson down on the doorstep. Drury off the side of the cage. Drury now back behind the net. Back up to the point and Manson. A shot tipped just wide. Comes out to the near side. Manson is on it. Inside goes all the way through the crease. Back up top to Nelson. Now a shot from distance. Blocker down by Gustafsson. Manson jumps on in the corner again. Kick back behind the net. First guy to it is Drury. Drury sends it in out in front. Eriksson Ek is there. And Minnesota will get it out. Boldy on the other end. Drops it off to no man's land. Here's Nelson. Nelson looked to feed it in. Decided better of it. Now flips it up ahead. Back to it is McKinnon. Battle for it in the trapezoid. Circles the near half wall. Eriksson Ek back to center and Sturm. Tried to flip it in. Good stick from behind by Nelson. Turned it over to Broden. Under 7 minutes to go here in the third in a 3-goal game. Landeskog pestered by Faber on his way through. And Sturm hit along the boards. A lot of tired skaters out there once again. 6:18 to go here in the third. Lankinen bobbles on his way through the crease. Broden jumps on it here for the Wild. Boldy pestered, kept alive. Lankinen fires off the pipe. Another one rings off the bar and it stays out. Eriksson Ek now through center. Fires a shot, saved by Wedgwood. And we can get some fresh skaters in. Arturi Lankinen bangs one right off the bar, trying to cut the lead to 2. .91 miles an hour right off the goalpost. And it remains a 3-goal lead here for Minnesota. 5:44 to go in the game. Face-off control by Minnesota. Faber drops it off for Zuccarello. He fires a shot off a body in front. Kelly with the defense there for Colorado. Fed in deep into the zone. Circles the boards to Quinn Hughes. Now Faber. Zuccarello up to Urov. Kaprizov outside. Tried to cut inside. Good defense by Colorado once again. And here's Bardakov. Brindley drops it off, intercepted. Kaprizov turns it over and denied by Gustafsson. Still loose. Back behind the net. Kelly tried to jump on it. Pestered in the trapezoid by Kaprizov. Still loose back there. And Minnesota gets it out of the zone. Malinsky nearly turned it over. Bardakov pinned along the boards. Faber jumps on it here for Minnesota. Turnover and a shot on net. Gustafsson with an easy save. 4:07 to go here in the third. Colorado running out of time. Avalanche win the faceoff. Makar just wide of the net. Zuccarello pounces on the puck. And the Wild will clear again. Under 4 minutes to go. Colton pestered through center. Makar right in front of the bench. Colton now hitting center. Here's Olofsson. Works it in wide. Olofsson drops it off for Drury. Shot goes off a body. High off the boards and stays in play. Colton now on the wing, can't handle it. Olofsson, a backhanded try, goes off of Gustafsson. And Minnesota will pounce on the puck and get it out through center. Cross ice to Quinn Hughes. Feeds it in deep. Colton up ahead quickly here for Colorado. That's an offsides, and there's the whistle. Nichushkin got a little too far ahead, and with 2:51 to go in the third, Minnesota in control. Makar brings it in, drops it off. A bobble and a save by Gustafsson goes out wide. And Stroza wins the race for the puck. And through center comes Minnesota again. Here's Makar with just over 2 minutes to go. Penalty called here on Colorado. That just made things a lot more difficult. Cale Makar gets called for interference in center. And now Minnesota's going to have a power play for the rest of regulation, unless they score. So things just went from bad to worse for Colorado. Power play here for Minnesota, up by 3. With just over 2 minutes to play. Face-off controlled by Colorado. We'll see if they want to pull Wedgwood here at some point. Spurgeon takes it away. Johansson. Tarasenko now trying it. Works it in. Floats it back deep into the corner. Trying it. Johansson. Works it in down low. Out in front, Faber. Denied by Wedgwood. Deflects to Burns, who flags it down. Colorado's going to empty their net here. Make or break here for the Avalanche. McKinnon. Score! There's step one. A shorthanded goal with the net empty for Nathan McKinnon. And it's a 2-goal game. Just fires it right past Gustafsson. Colorado empties their net with the power play against them. And they're back within 2, but still a lot of things need to go their way. Drury takes it away as it floats back deep. Just over a minute to go in the penalty, just over a minute to go in the game as well. Net is not empty. Foligno taken off his stick by Malinsky. Kelly will bring it back up for Colorado. Wedgwood stays put for the moment. Well, it's back behind the net, Faber, as we approach the 1 minute mark to go here in this third period. Drury gains control. Colorado will empty their net. Taken away by Zuccarello towards the empty net. Cut off beautifully. And Colorado still alive for a moment. 50 seconds to go. Power play here for Minnesota. Empty net. Boldy squares it up. Pestered on his way through. And Malinsky jumps on the puck. 40 seconds to go in the game. Drury fires, save Gustafsson. Back behind Eriksson Ek. 33 seconds to go in the game. Minnesota jumps on it. Up ahead, here's Boldy. Sending it towards the empty net, and he puts it home. And Minnesota's going to win this one on the road. Matt Boldy, the empty net goal in Minnesota, comes into Colorado, and they're going to steal a game from the Colorado Avalanche. 5-2 is our score. Well, it's all the way through. 23 seconds to go in the game. 3-goal lead for Minnesota is going to take the game here in Colorado. Here's Kaprizov trying to send it in on net. Wedgwood holds his ground with 13 seconds left. Face-off control by Colorado. As the final seconds wind down, here's a turnover and a shot that's snared by Wedgwood. Minnesota still on the attack with 5 seconds left. Face-off, and Kaprizov sends it in on net. One final try if they want it, and they will not get it. And Minnesota wins it by a final score of 5-2. And we have got ourselves a perfect prediction. The final score in real life that ended about 20 minutes ago was 5-2 Minnesota. And we get the exact same result. Minnesota comes into Colorado and defeats the Avalanche by a final score of 5-2. They moved to 35-14-10 on the season. And Colorado moves to 38-10-9 on the year. We've got ourselves a final score correct. And Matt Boldy's empty net goal was also correct. We haven't had a perfect prediction in a while. Let's go. 5-2 the final score. Minnesota wins it here in Colorado.